So month 8, reflection 8. Obviously you've been away, so this one's a little bit late, but yeah, man, in terms of the last, we'll call it 6-week period, because like I say, we're a couple of weeks late in terms of cadence on this one. Anything stands out? Anything from a reflectionary standpoint that you want to talk to?
It's funny because we started yapping before we started recording, and then I was like, all right, hold that thought, we should probably record this. First thing, obviously I've been away for the last 2 days, early this week, ill, and I had the thought about like the guilt that you have. I think we generally have a pretty heightened level of responsibility and accountability than most. And even when we, worked, in holding co, we would always work through illness, work through trying circumstances, personal circumstances, whatever it may be, because, you had that level of responsibility, not only to like the business, but to your clients, to your team. And it can be very hard to step away when you've got that kind of that weight on your consciousness. I think that's escalated exponentially when you're running a business, right? And some very kind of sage advice that we'd gotten when we first started, that I think has really helped kind of create a very clear North Star for me personally, is the fact that like there will be times when you just need to step away, and you'll just need to get yourself right physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. We're obviously kind of in market, like pushing very hard from an outreach perspective. We're working on pitches where, we've got the kind of foot to the floor, riding a really nice wave of momentum that we've kind of, I felt like almost kind of created on our own, which is a really good feeling. But there will come a time, and obviously, the time came for me, being quite ill earlier this week, where you do need to just step away and realize that, like, okay, this is a sign that I need to get my body right and come back, when everything's kind of in check. And I think that instead of staying on the computer, staying over emails, like trying to kind of fake the funk and just write it out, which a lot of people do, and like, and credit to them. I genuinely think 2 days of rest and just calling it early and saying, look, and just having an honest conversation with you and just being like, look, man, it's not going to serve either of us right, or any of our, clients and potential clients and our partners right, if I stay online at the moment. So I'm just going to jump off, take a day. I did think I could come back the next day. Obviously,
overcooked it. Overcooked it.
That didn't work either. But yeah, taking steps away. Yes, there's the guilt. Yes, there's that feeling that, what am I missing in terms of momentum from those 2 days? But you come back energized, you come back with fresh perspective. Sometimes you come back with a completely different point of view as well, because you've had time away, and you've had idle time to kind of think and rest and recuperate. So I think that's invaluable. And then my second point, which is obviously what we talked about prior to jumping on the call or recording this call, is just around the fact that every kind of experience that we go through in building our pipeline and kind of that journey to, securing deals is, it's full of, wild turns and, experiences that you never think you'll kind of, or pressure that you never think you'll kind of be put under. But it's invaluable experience. And sometimes, I think the more experience that you have in your career, obviously you come to not react to those situations emotionally and, in a really reactionary kind of way. You are able to, acknowledge the fact that, yes, these things are annoying, they might infuriate you, etc., etc. But you also know that, you can sleep on things, there's a way to deal with these kind of problems or issues as they arise, and you also find value in them in the sense that if this ever comes up again, and the likelihood of these things, these issues kind of popping up again is quite high in our business, you'll be prepared. So yeah, I think those are two big things that I've kind of learned this month. But yeah, keen to hear what you have to share as well.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, that was good. That was very comprehensive. Mine are, I would say, slightly different. First one was from a personal perspective, I managed to get out in March and do some public speaking, which I haven't done for ages. So not on my own as part of a panel, but kind of made me remember and realize the enjoyment you get from doing that. Obviously love the sound of my own voice too much for that to be the case, but I really enjoyed being a part of a panel. Obviously putting you on the spot and having to answer questions in a room full of people it gives you a bit of adrenaline, a bit of a pump for that, but also being sat with people that really know their craft. It was a topic that isn't necessarily our primary focus, but definitely an area of focus for us moving forward, and something we know a fair bit about from the lens that we come from, but broader market level understanding that the guys on the panel far outweighed my knowledge of it. So also being the dumbest person on the panel in that context was very useful because you learn a lot. So just thoroughly enjoyed being a part of that, and really look forward to kind of doing more of it as the year goes on. It's important for us to do, obviously being a relatively new agency, and coming to realize the importance of building your brand and personal brand, which is not our forte, but something we keep saying we're trying to get better at, and we are trying. So that would definitely be one. I think another one for me would be the gratitude felt for, and actually no, probably the realizing again the importance of relationships, like especially in the last week or so, and we've spoken to people that we hold in really high regard. The benefit of having such a good relationship with those people is that you can help each other. So it's definitely not a one-way transaction, but we've definitely had a lot of assistance from a couple of people in particular, to their benefit as well. But to feel the gratitude of someone giving you an opportunity, which is two really good options for us as a business, purely because of the fact that they trust our ability to deliver, and also kind of want to help the business develop and grow. That's been extremely heartwarming, and massively appreciative on our side, and kind of looking forward to getting stuck into both of those opportunities, because I think it's really good for us as a business, which has been great. And I would say the last one would be, which is something you've driven actually, is not resting on your laurels when it comes to things and tasks that you've done previously and just assuming that they're done. So you obviously decided in a period of a quieter time to go back and tweak the website. Obviously we did the website first, wasn't very good. We did it again, it got a lot better. And I think in terms of complacency, because it had improved so much, it was kind of like, oh, okay, the website's fine. It's not necessarily a huge driver of business for us. It's more of a stock and trade requirement for any offering, any business, any service to have a website. But the fact that you went back, re-looked at it again, and didn't overhaul it like we did the second time, but made a lot of tweaks that improved the usability, improved the UX and the kind of image of it, and the aesthetic of it, and makes it look a lot more professional and proper, I think is a really good testament to not just assuming that, especially when it comes to that brand building piece, that it's done. You can always do more, and using your time wisely, rather than just chasing business and chasing opportunities, to actually look at internally, what are you doing well, what can be improved, because it faces externally. And I think you've done a brilliant job of tweaking the website in a number of different ways to make it look even better than it did. So They'd be my three, man. I'd say.
Yeah, that's yeah. No, appreciate it, man. And look, a big reason that we had I had a thought about updating the website was because we're always, looking at indie websites and genuinely very, very, very
So good.
impressed
So
by
good.
how good
Yeah.
they are and how people articulate their offerings, and just thinking, okay, we don't have the website development kind of skills that a lot of other kind of providers in market do have, but we know how to communicate messages, we know how to build narratives, and we can use that skill to make our website as kind of clear and concise as possible, and we'll take those bigger steps, flashy animations and what have you down the line. But yeah, it's good to know that, like, I think there was that kind of feeling early on where we'd be kind of sitting there being like, so what do we do now? I think there's always like, oh, we've got a list, like there's plenty to do. So, yeah,
100%. 100%. Any more reflection points, or do you want to move on to what you're looking forward to in the next 4 weeks or so?
Yeah, happy to move on. And I think we're probably on the same boat here, on the same wavelength in thought. But yeah, definitely, it's been an awesome 2 weeks. Like, I think we can genuinely feel that the groundwork that we've done over the last kind of 2 months, particularly like between Jan and Feb, and even starting back as late as December last year, we've been getting kind of the business in a position to be able to, have a great product that we can take to people in all the various kind of stakeholders in the partnerships landscape, to provide value to them. And like, we've done that, and we've seen the benefits of that, kind of those efforts come back to us tenfold, in terms of building a really significant pipeline. Is now getting to the point where we have to execute on that pipeline. They're all really exciting opportunities for us. And, it's the stuff that keeps you up at night in a really positive way. It's like the genuine excitement and the rush of, having these great opportunities to hopefully kind of eventuate into business. I think we've gotten to a really exciting point in our journey, and I'm just so excited to execute. And we've always spoken about, the last few weeks, not knowing what this is kind of building to, but knowing that we're going in the right direction, and genuinely kind of feeling it. So now hopefully by the next reflection, some of the proof will be in the pudding, as they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm at personally.
Totally aligned, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
Just the groundwork being done, and the commitments starting to be made. Just getting back on the tools and operating, and yeah, it could be a very big 6 to 8 weeks or so. So looking forward to it, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. I guess watch this space is the thing to
the feels,
close this one out on.
Yeah.
Cool.
So watch this space. But nah, I think that's in terms of, it's a clean one this month, because I think we know what's coming over the hills. So I think in terms of what to look forward to, they're the obvious ones. We've also got a couple of events coming up which are always good. Like, I've got a roundtable next week, which are always fun, and you do get a lot from. So and a couple of other events in the pipeline for April. So yeah, just enjoying getting out in market. That's another one which we've said before, but it genuinely is good to kind of catch up with people and see how everyone's doing. But
awesome, man. Here's
cool.
to another exciting month ahead. Fingers crossed.
Get it.